Hi everybody, Finney Boylan here with a reading from my new book, Stuck in the Middle with You, a memoir of parenthood in 3 genders. Here's a story from the first chapter. It's a story about how my son Zach learned to shave. Zach learned to shave when he was 2 years old by watching me. He says that this is one of his primary memories of me as a man, the morning ritual of the razor and the hot steam from the basin. Zach stood upon a stool so that he could see his face in the bathroom mirror. I used to coat his young pink cheeks with Gillette Foamy, then give him a razor with a protective shield still on the blade. As I shaved my face, Zach would shave his. He'd mimic the contortions I'd make with my face in order to keep my skin taut, and he'd shave his own face in the same order I shaved mine. Cheeks first, then the neck, then the chin, mustache last. We stood there before the mirror, the two of us. I wiped the steam away from the top half of the mirror so I could see myself. Zach wiped a smaller hole away for himself at the bottom. Our expressions were so serious as we shaved, as men's faces always are as they undertake this business, as if they are not shaving, but staring out across the bridge of an intergalactic star destroyer. Afterward, we toweled down our faces, removing the residual froth and smacking our smooth cheeks lightly with an air of manly satisfaction. There, he'd say, I'm clean as a whistle. That Christmas, my wife Dee Dee bought Zach his own pretend shaving kit, complete with a plastic razor. When I opened this gift, though, he immediately burst into tears. What? Said Dee Dee, discouraged that what had seemed like the perfect gift had gone so wrong. I don't want a baby razor, Zach wept, looking at me for backup. I want a real one. 12 years later, when Zach began to shave for real, he did it with an electric razor, one of those contraptions with the floating heads. I didn't show him how to do it either, although I tried, but he stopped me as he headed into the bathroom and said, Maddie, I got it from here. Maddie is the name that my sons had given me, their combination of mommy and daddy. A moment later, the door closed and I sat down in the kitchen and listened to the faint buzzing sound coming through the wall. You know, I didn't learn how to shave from my father, either. Which turns out, I think, not to be that strange. One of the things about manhood I learned from my father is that it's a solitary experience, a land of silences and understatements, a place where a lot of important things have to be learned alone. Whereas womanhood, a lot of the time, is a thing you get to share. I remember going for a bra fitting once, and the salesman just waltzed right into the changing room in the midst of things to check the fit. When she entered the room, I was flabbergasted. I wasn't prepared for anyone to barge in while, what's the phrase? My cups runneth over. But in seeing my astonishment, the saleswoman just laughed. Oh, honey, please, she said. We're all women here. How was it? I asked Zach when he emerged from the bathroom, stroking his face. I was all set to have a big conversation about the experience. Shaving for the first time. A huge rite of passage. Do you remember, my sweet boy, when you were 2 and we used to stand before the mirror together, staring through the clouds of steam? I imagined the two of us sitting down for a moment in order to take the measure of our rapidly passing lives. It was fine, said Zach, with a hint of annoyance in his voice. I recognized that tone. It said, it was what it was, and it wasn't all that interesting, and do we have to talk about it as if it was? Not everything in the world, my son was trying to tell me, is worthy of analysis and sentimentality. Okay, I said, trying not to be hurt. Zach shook his head and then bent down next to me. Really, he said, it was fine. He gave me a hug to make up for his silence, and I hugged him back. And as I did, my cheek brushed against his. Smooth. Thank you.